The story for my music video is a relatively simple one. It follows a smartly dressed and out-of-luck young man called James, who after sitting on a bench and being bothered by the music of a busker, laughs in the face of him, before then being stalked around town as this busker is a seemingly supernatural force. Then, James is confronted in his own home by said busker, and when the audience think that the busker is going to kill James, boom, the expectations are subverted, and the busker actually gives James his wallet back, which he dropped earlier when next to him. The inspiration for my music video is rooted in the horror genre, as the video builds up the guitar player being some kind of supernatural being who is following James, the protagonist, until he follows James to his home and then gives him his wallet, rather than killing him, leading to an anticlimax and subverting the expectations as previously mentioned. Because of this link to horror, I want to draw some inspirations from the 70s and 80s horror, mainly from Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and most importantly of all, Suspiria. The killer in Halloween is Michael Myers, who stalks Jamie Lee Curtis's character throughout the movie. I want to replicate this sort of stalkerish energy between the busker and the character of James. But the shot I like the most from Halloween is the one of Jamie Lee Curtis looking out her window, and then Michael Myers is staring back from the washing line. And as Jamie Lee Curtis looks back shocked, the next shot of Michael Myers, he disappears and he's gone. I really like this, and I think this is the kind of thing I would like to replicate with my characters, albeit on the Lincoln High Street, so it's a bit of a subverting of the genre. But another thing I like about this scene is that it's in the daytime, whereas a lot of horror films, most of the scenes are at night, because that's when it's more scary. But by setting it in the day, it shows that you're not even safe then, which you'd think in that kind of film, once it gets dark, you're not safe anymore. But when it's light again, it's okay. That's when nothing bad comes out in the day. But I'm setting my video in the daytime to show that this character doesn't even feel safe then, when you would think that he would. Another horror film I want to draw from is Suspiria, and most importantly, the colours and the lighting of Suspiria. Suspiria features a beautiful lighting, the colour especially throughout the film. However, I think the best example of this in the film is the opening scene in the taxi, where there are numerous colours shining over the face of Jessica Harper as Susie, which is extremely visually appealing, but also helps foreshadow the supernatural elements of the film. And I think this once again reflects quite well into my music video, although I will be using colours towards the end, during the supposed murder scene in the alleyway. Although the supernatural element will have already been hinted at by this point, I think it still works to reflect that aspect of the video. I plan to use LED lights to create this with gels in front of them to create a similar effect in a darkened out passageway, that way having a bright enough light. I want to feature quite a lot of tracking and panning shots in my music video, mainly to follow the lead character of James, so the audience feel like they also are on the journey with him, running with him, and they experience his fear. And because of this, I also want to use quite a lot of close-ups on the face of the main character to show his emotion, but also to give the discomfort he would feel as if this serial killer busker is right in his face about to get him, is what he feels. I want the audience to feel that level of discomfort as well. I also plan to use a track and dolly sequence down the passageway leading up to the supposed death of James, the main character. Somewhat similar to the scene in Poltergeist, where the hallway just keeps on going down. It'll not to replicate that entirely, but I like the level of unescapability and fear, as if this hallway will go on forever and they'll never get out of it. The character of the busker will be dressed as somewhat of a hipster, which not only is the aesthetic of the False Vision's lead guitarist Lewis Smith, who will be playing the character, but also is the kind of thing you would expect a busker to wear, which leads the implication that at the beginning that he's no different to anyone else. He would be your usual kind of busking guitarist. And then his foil, being the main character James, will be dressed quite smartly, as the implication is that he's had some kind of job interview or a uni application. It's not gone well at the beginning, as he's down on his luck. The shoot is going to feature 3 main locations, the first of which being benches near the Lincoln War Memorial, which is a popular busking spot, and the second being Lincoln High Street in general, as there will be numerous shots of the busker standing next to alleyways as James is running throughout the city. And then the third is a passageway which will be used for the final confrontation.